The U.S. military struck 4 alleged drug trafficking boats in the Eastern Pacific, killing 14 people, marking the deadliest day yet for this campaign.
This is just extraordinary. Trump has now blown up 13 boats, killing at least 57 people. And he has done so in international waters solely on his own say-so. He has not offered any information, any credible information that these were in fact boats carrying drugs. And even if they were, the appropriate response is not to blow them up and kill people without authorization from Congress or even without any credible evidence. The proper approach would be to intercept them and decide whether there is any drugs, confiscate the drugs, and arrest the people running the drugs. Why is Trump doing this?
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what a number of experts in the field have said. Number one, he's doing it because he can, because this is another example of Trump showing to the American people and to the world, I can do anything I want as president. I am not constrained by the law, by the Constitution. I am not constrained by any principles of humanity. I can do what I want, even if it extends to killing of dozens of persons. Second thing some of the experts have said is that this may be a prelude to softening us up to much more aggressively and actively engaging the military against the American people on some pretext, just like he's developed some pretext for blowing up these boats and killing these people. And this could be action he's taken at the time of the election to stymie and rig a free and fair election. In other words, the implications, according to some experts, of what Trump is doing goes way beyond just blowing up alleged drug-running boats, but as a prelude to a much broader exercise of military power right here at home to serve his own interests. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but some very serious scholars have suggested that is a real possibility.
Now, why can't, what I'm confused about is why can't they just intercept these boats and arrest the people on board? Why do they need to just execute them? I mean, there seems to be no, judge, jury, there seems to be no due process to this at all.
None. This is what we call extrajudicial killings. Killings that have nothing to do with any lawful process, but are just at the say-so of a president who has said, I can do anything I want as president. Of course, if you're worried about drugs reaching the American shores, the appropriate thing is, as you point out, to intercept the boats, confiscate any drugs, if there are any drugs aboard, and arrest the drug runners. That's lawful. That's the way it's usually done. You don't need to blow up boats and kill people to protect Americans from drugs. And, this is a big escalation in the war on drugs that has been going on for so many decades. And what does the war on drugs accomplish, Sam?
It's gotten worse, maybe even.
Yes, you don't solve the problem of drugs in this way.
This administration obviously is all in on deterrence tactics, right? With immigrants, with drug runners, alleged drug runners, right? They're thinking, well, if we just kill them outright, eventually these boats will stop running. But as you said, the war on drugs has been incredibly violent and hasn't deterred much of any drug trafficking. In fact, probably trafficking numbers have gone up over the decades. I'm not sure about that, but...
Yeah, there's been plenty of it. There's a wonderful novel many decades ago by William Burroughs called Naked Lunch. And it makes the point. As long as there is infinite demand for drugs, as there is in the United States, the greatest market in the world for drugs, they will find some way to supply the drugs. If they're not coming in by boat, they'll come in some other way, or they'll be synthesized and manufactured right here in the United States. As you know, we've seen with the meth epidemic, for example. That's not drugs coming in from abroad. That's drugs manufactured right here in the U.S. As long as there is infinite demand, there will be supply. You cannot solve the drug problem by violently trying to suppress the supply. Decades of experience has proven that.
So I know at first they were just showing us these blurry photos of drug boats. Have you heard of any more evidence that these are, in fact, even drug trafficking boats? Because right now it's all alleged. We don't even know if they are or not. Like, we're talking about drug enforcement policy, which is a fine debate to have, but we don't even know for sure that these are drug trafficking boats.
According to the most recent press reports, the administration, beyond these very blurry photos which show nothing, has provided no credible information that these were really major drug-running boats. And Democrats in the Congress have repeatedly complained, we have no information. We're the Congress. We're supposed to authorize these things. And you've given us no credible information to justify these extrajudicial killings.
Yeah, this time, like we said, they killed 14 people on board. That's a lot of people to just kill without any sort of real evidence. Again, even if they are drug trafficking boats, this is probably not the right approach. But we don't even know who these 14 people are.
57 people dead, and we have no idea whether they're gang members, drug runners, or totally innocent persons, because we've gotten the American people and Congress has gotten no credible information from the Trump administration. And they're not going to give us any, because Trump, as I said, believes I can do anything I want. I don't have to explain myself. I don't have to justify myself.
But don't you think if they had real, credible, clear evidence that these were drug trafficking boats, that they would provide it to people, because it would,
at least to the Congress,
right? But I'm saying, like, that would help their case, wouldn't it?
You would think if they had real hard information, you're absolutely right, it would serve their interest to provide it. Maybe not just publicly, but at least certainly to the Congress. And this does suggest by inference that they don't have such information. Thanks for watching our video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and become a member today.